Okay, we are waiting for you.
Good audience clap. So on tonight's episode of Eric and Natalie's home kitchen, we're going to be making some gelato. I'm going to make it a vegan gelato because instead of using like cream or milk, cream and milk usually, I'm going to use coconut cream milk. So instead of putting any egg yolks in it, making like a creme anglaise, which is normally the way I would make a homemade ice cream gelato, we're going to omit the yolk. It's not going to be as rich, but we're just going to use coconut cream. And we're going to use banana. Banana will give it a little richness. So we're going to banana. It's going to be banana, coconut, walnut. Banana, walnut, and chocolate chunk. Kind of like Ben & Jerry's has one, Chunky Monkey. Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. It's a banana ice cream. I think it's got walnuts in there. It's walnuts and chocolate chunk. So we're kind of doing a variation of Chunky Monkey, vegan. We have this new squeeze in our ice cream maker. And I'm going to puree the bananas, the sugar, and the coconut together. So let's start. This is organic coconut cream. Got from Sprouts Market. We opened a new Sprouts Market here in Brevard County, Florida, in Suntree. So now I don't have to order my Sprouts products on Instacart. Make them like they used to. Wash this with water. So we're going to take the coconut cream. This one, get the can opened all the way. And the recycle bin. Coconut cream. Some organic bananas. These are the riper ones. That we'll put in the compost later. We have our compost bin for our garden. You can do more. You can only make 2 batches.
Because it works for me.
4 bananas. It's very banana. And the puree banana will keep it rich.
It slows disability progression. When ready, and take it
We're not using any egg yolk.
If you've had an allergic or life-threatening reaction to Gelato or have hepatitis B, doctors should test for hepatitis B before treatment if you've had a good return.
What are they?
Including fatal infection.
2.5 bananas.
Especially taken before or after.
Now, make ice cream or gelato tends to need a lot more sugar than you think. Maybe a mistake. Tasted it. So wow, that seems sweet enough. And we made the ice cream. And then when it's done and frozen, it tastes like it's sweet enough. Did you forget to put the sugar in? It doesn't taste sweet at all. When it freezes, it loses some of the sweetness. So whatever you think tastes right when it's warm or room temperature, double that. When it's frozen, it's not going to taste sweet. You realize how the sugar is in ice cream. Add sugar. Delish. I would normally think 1 cup, but I'm actually going to do 2 cups. Organic cane sugar, these finest, and the chocolate and walnuts will fold in afterwards after this. So we got 2 cans, about stuff in that banana. 2 cans of coconut cream, organic coconut cream. I was going to do 4 bananas, but I did 3.5. Roughly enough. Let's see.
How much sugar?
cups.
2 cups of sugar.
Real vanilla. These are supposed to get some curls. Okay. Ninja, Super Ninja.
Help me out.
That should be good. Taste.
Right where you need to be. Dash pass by DoorDash. Good work, of course.
That is good.
Can I try?
You can, I guess, but
Can I prove the ice cream taste?
you got to think it's sweet, and it's like I really got to. What is it like? Oh, now
I'm
this
trusting.
type of ice cream maker has the modern home version. It
that's-
has the frozen cylinder.
Have to
So you got to keep these very cold. Sure your freezer's below 0. Because, this freezing is 32 degrees, but if you kept it, 20, 30 degrees, it's not going to work very well. So this is all ready to go. And you want to get it turning first, because that'll lock up on the sides and lock your blade in. So, make gelatos and ice creams on a daily basis. I was a pastry chef. Turn it on, get that in there. This little blade that whips it on, smears it on the side. Turn it on. See if you want to get a video of it on. And I think there's a fill line about 3/4 of the way up, because it does air, does get volume air like a whip, and then will overflow. Another rookie mistake. It's easy to make. So you want to go like 2/3, 3/4 of the way up, the most. See, that's where it always gets you. You got a little more. I can squeeze it in there, but when it overflows and it gets down inside, and it's a big mess. So. Let's go with that. So now it's just a waiting game. It's gonna slowly whip that into ice cream.
How long it's gonna take?
We're a novice home cooking show, so we don't have one already ready that we can jump to. So we'll have to stop the camera and turn it back on when it's done.
Oh, okay. How long
Or you
do
can
you
stand
think
there
it's
and do
gonna
that
be?
and edit it out. It's going to be like 10-15 minutes.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Action!
Okay, so now, while our gelato is turning into gelato, it's starting to thicken a little bit. So we're going to do, so that's the banana coconut mix in there. We pureed the bananas with the coconut cream, sugar, and now we're going to fold in the walnuts and the chocolate chunk when it's done. So I like to use this is 85%. So it's a very dark bitter chocolate, but that is so sweet that I kind of want it to chocolate. I didn't want it chunked, so I'm using chocolate bars. I'm going to chunk it up myself. I don't want too much. freezer. Three little sections. All these finest chocolate. Not bad for the money. 85%. Break it up like that, probably would be good. So you want some random big chunks in there. And they'll break up too when it hardens up and you scoop it. You kind of break up the chunks too a little bit. A little smaller than that. That chocolate chunk. That's good. Okay, so there's our chocolate chunks. Okay, walnuts. Another cup. Maybe that's too much. I you don't have it. Here I'll so it's an idea. Yeah, I'll do a cup. I'm thinking maybe about a cup because they're not going to pack. So about a cup of walnuts. That. Then a little chop.
Keep your fingers curled so you don't cut them.
I don't do that.
I'm talking to viewers.
Oh, okay.
And me. Technique to learn
That's pretty
how
good.
to cut
Not gonna
walnuts.
profit. Starting to thicken up if you want to see. I mean, it's just started, but you see it forming on the wall by the blade. You see what's getting a little thick. It takes like 10-15 minutes. Sometimes, depends on how cold that is. Like, so some of the ice creams you make, you have to cook. You cook the creme anglaise. It has yolk or you're melting chocolate, and so it's always best to refrigerate it. You know, get it down below 40 degrees or colder before you put it in the machine. And I do have two of these insulated cylinders, so sometimes you got to use two, especially if it wasn't warm. This stuff, you know, it was room temperature. Everything was room temperature, so it wasn't real cold. So you could put it in another one of those cylinders. So I got an extra one. So one comes with it, but so they're $50 a piece. I bought an extra one. I guess I want to use it in a restaurant to make extra.
So what now?
So now it's still going to be like at least another 10 minutes.
So we already
yeah. So
finished
this is going to be folded in. So when it's finished, it's usually still pretty soft. It's like maybe a little harder than soft ice cream, but it's fairly soft. And that's when you can fold in any type of things like that you want to add to it. Fold that in, and then if you want to, of course, put it in the freezer, it'll get hard. That's too hard if the freezer's really cold.
Okay, so let's wait another 10 minutes and we'll be back.
So we'll be back shortly after this commercial message.
Action!
So now, if you want to come over here and take a look, it looks like the ice cream is about ready. You got to look at the inside. So you see how it's thickening up? You
Yep.
see it building up in there, and it's really good over here. Sometimes it'll lock up harder, but if it locks up too hard, it's going to be hard to get the plastic component that implement that makes the ice cream. It'll be hard to get that out, and to break it. I broke those before because it's kind of a flimsier plastic. And that's about as hard as it'll probably get anyway. But of course, it does vary on how much sugar, fat, and other factors like that. The Alton Brown scientific approach. But anyway, so now we can shut it off. See it? Okay.
Ooh. Oh, it feels ice cream.
And then when I used to make it in the restaurant, even the commercial ones had 4 of these. And we would serve it right out of it, make it in small batches and serve it. So the logic was that that was the consistency we wanted to serve it. More common in Italy to eat a little soft. So when we went to Italy, the gelato was pretty hard, like American ice cream too. Depending, I guess, on what you want to do. So at this point, we're going to put rubber smash. We're going to fold in our chocolate chunks and our walnuts. And then we're going to put it in the freezer and let it set up a little more. Of course, you could eat it just like this. I like it a little harder. I don't like it too hard.
I like it a little harder too.
I'll be able to put that on TikTok now. I might PG-13. Lick that. Rubber smash.
He wants to lick it off. He said he wants to lick. I can lick it
off. Time getting that off and melting our ice cream. It's good enough. And then, so, fold it. I like to try not to. This is aluminum, even though when I bought this, I said it was a stainless steel. I think they're referring to the outside because the cylinder is still aluminum. It's a softer metal. You can store it right in one of these, right in the freezer. These Pyrex glass. So we'll just mix it up right in there. Right in here. This, yeah, you're not really going to get it much harder than that in here. You shouldn't, anyways. Sometimes if the cylinder is still really cold, the coating on the side will like lock up like ice. But this one has thawed a little bit in the process, so it's coming off pretty easy. Sometimes when you make them really fast, that stuff is sticking to the side. It's not coming off that it is. It's sticking a little in some seconds.
So how this thing actually makes ice cream again?
Basically, you're just freezing it. But if you froze it solid, it would be like just a, like almost like a liquid that freezes like ice. Of course, it has fat and sugar in it, so. But in order to, basically, you're whipping it at the same time as freezing. So you're imagining whipping something, and because once it starts to freeze, like like say like a whip whisk, or KitchenAid has got the whip whisk. This is smearing it on the sides, because the sides is where the ice cylinder is. So it's smearing it as it's freezing and kind of like stretching and breaking the molecules. So it's kind of like whipping it, but it's doing it as it's freezing, so it gets air in it. So you're whipping air into it, so that's why it comes smooth, creamy. Alright, so let's. You don't want to wait too long because it gets
but hurry up because the battery may die.
It's too melted, so I'm just going to put our walnuts and our chocolate right in there, kind of fold it in. Just the perfect size because it's filled this container. There was a little extra of the cream left, but we'll put that in our next batch. Or you could even just dump it in if we want to make a smoothie. You can just take that mix. It's just pureed banana, coconut milk, and sugar. Add it to the breakfast smoothie or something. Fold these in a little bit. Evenly distributed. Sometimes you buy a pint of Ben & Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs and they're not evenly distributed. You got a chunk at the bottom or something. If it's not too melted, so that's perfect.
How's it?
Very good. that
So what's
freezer.
next after that?
That's it. So well, wait for it to freeze up a little bit.
Oh, so it's gonna be in freezer?
So you could eat it like that. It's more like
Oh, okay.
this consistency. It's a little bit more like a milkshake. Well, not that thin, but it's
So put it in
soft
freezer.
ice cream.
We put it
And
in
gooey, 'cause
freezer.
that's the, the pureed banana and sugar and stuff in it. So now we're just gonna put it in the freezer
Okay.
and let it lock up. Our freezer is pretty cold, so it might get.
Yep.
Sometimes it gets too hard. It's hard to scoop it up.
Any final words? So before we finish.
That concludes our episode of today.
First.
The first
Rough.
use of, I bought this for Natalie for Christmas, I think, last year. So she hasn't used it yet. So I had to give her a lesson. So this was her first lesson on how to make ice cream gelato. We'll be making more flavors. We're thinking of doing a cherry. We're not vegan anymore. We did that for a while, but yeah, I still try not
Maybe
to
next
eat
year.
cream. When I do eat dairy products like cream, I usually try to use fermented aged cheeses. They're much healthier for you, or goats or sheep's milk, or European cow's milk, not American cow. That's a different episode.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That's it, folks. We are making dinner too, but that's another episode too. Making
Okay.
organic stuffed chicken
I have to stop
with brie.
Eric
inside.
Anderson because he cannot stop
Trumpet
himself.
mushrooms and caramelized onions
Okay.
with a cauliflower puree.